Here's another triangle question. This is courtesy of our friend Dr. Chung. We have a triangle, another triangle. They tell us that ABC is equilateral. C is in the middle of AD. It may not look like it, but that's the best I can do. And E is also in the middle of BC. The question asks us, what is the area of triangle CDE? This looks like a pretty tough one. We got some stuff going on. When you pause the video, see what you can do with it. We'll come back and get this thing solved. Okay, so we're back, and so as everyone knows, the first thing you want to do is take what's given and see what we can do with that first and foremost. So ABC is an equilateral triangle. I think we should all know what that means. It just means all the sides are equal, and therefore all the angles are also equal. So we know this would be 4. We know all of that's 4, and if you recall, they told us that E is in the middle of BC, which would just make these pieces 2 and 2. I always like to fill the angles out as well. I think when you see triangles, always ask yourself, what do I know about the sides? Let me fill that in. What do I know about the angles? Let me also fill that in. So we're just going to put 60 in here. So we've dealt with that. And the last little piece that we can use here, if C is the midpoint of AD, if that's 4, certainly that better be 4 as well. Okay, so is there anything else? Let's look at the picture, see if we can put anything else in, and then try and solve this thing. Well, let's see. If this is 60 degrees, I know a straight line is going to be 180. This piece should be what? 120. That's just 180 minus 60. From there, I'm not sure we know really anything else. I know this side is 2. I know this is 4. Could I obtain that side? I could. I'd probably have to use a little trigonometry. I don't think that's necessary. Alright, well, let's see. We know the area of a triangle, again, is 1/2 the base times the height. Now, typically, like we said in the last video, the base should always be bottom straight piece. So for now, let's just call that 4. So we know the base, put that in our formula. We have 1/2 times the base of 4. If we can get the height, we should be home free. Now remember, if this is the base, the height is always the highest point of the triangle straight down till it either hits the base or would hit that same level of the base. So you can probably see that should give us the height of the triangle. Now we have something interesting going on here. We've created a little triangle here. That's 90. This angle's 60. Right? We can probably figure out that that angle is going to be 30. We have a little 30, 60, 90 triangle here. So we have one side. Anyone knows a template for a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The SAT will provide you with this. The ACT will not, so it's a pretty good thing to know. Opposite the 30-degree angle, we'll call that X. Opposite the 90-degree angle is always going to be double that smallest side, so we'll call that 2X. And opposite the 60 is just the smaller side, X, times the square root of 3. So now let's see what we have here. We have a 90-degree angle. Opposite that side is 2, which would make opposite the 30 1. Opposite the 60 now is just the small side times root 3, or just 1 times the square root of 3. This should now give us the height of the triangle. That's root 3. So if we clean that up, 1/2 times 4, that's going to be 2. 2 times the square root of 3 is 2 root 3. So that's one solution. Another quick one, as a lot of you guys know, when we look at triangles, I always like to see if we have side angle side. In other words, if we have the angle in between two given sides. When we do have that, this is a cheeky little formula. Those of you guys in pre-calculus may have seen this. It's just 1/2 times the two sides times the sine of the angle in between. Right? So if we do that, let's see what we have. We have 1/2. One side is 4, and the other side is 2. 4 times 2 is going to be 8. And then it's the sine of 120. Some people may know that off the top of their heads. There are calculators, you can pop that in there. 1/2 times 8 is 4. The sine of 120 is the square root of 3 over 2. If I clean that up, multiply that, right, that should just turn into that. And that's another way to solve it. There you go.